Hey there, everybody. It's me, Heidi Hollis. Once again, I am here going through your emails of odd experiences. So I welcome you all to go and check out my main website, which is HeidiHollis.com, HeidiHollis. You can write me through there or just write me an email at dasoutlander@gmail.com, which is dasoutlander.com. Sound it out. Yeah, so if you have experienced anything out of the ordinary, I don't care what it is, if Bigfoot's got his feet up on your couch and you don't appreciate it, it's all good. Just write me about it. We'll discuss it. I don't know if I'll have a remedy about that because I heard he stinks. You probably have to throw the couch out. Maybe he'll leave. See? There goes some advice for you. Um, so yeah, if you guys have experienced anything out of the ordinary, I welcome you to write me and I will get to it. I will only address your first name. If you don't want your email read on air on one of my radio shows, which airs Friday, 8 p.m. Central on InceptionRadioNetwork.com, and you could always go to HeidiHollis.com and hear all of my radio shows. Just click on the radio tab. So, so if you don't want it read here or addressed on there, just say, no, I don't wish, okay? So I'm going to get to a very juicy email. Load them up. Make them as juicy as you want. And we'll get to it. How's about that? These are not reading glasses, everybody, just so you know. I use them for distance. I don't need reading glasses. Okay. It says, Dear Heidi. That's me. Hold on. What's this? Oh, I came across your website and wanted to share my stories and the stories of my brother and my good friend. We all have seemed to see the same trench coat hat man once before during different times in our lives, but all in North Carolina. So here it goes. My story. I was about 14 and I had a friend sleeping over. It was late and we were about to go to sleep when I noticed the motion detector light went off outside. I looked out 3 stories down, and staring into my garage window was the outline of a large man with a trench coat and a large hat. Not a fedora, but something with a larger brim. Almost exactly like the image on your page. Or my book. I'll show you guys. That's what they're speaking of. That guy right there. Okay, so. It scared the crap out of me. I bet you had to change your shorts after that. And it seemed like he stayed there for a few minutes. Then he just disappeared. I have no idea to this day what that was. If it was a real person or not, my friend looked out and saw him too. It was so late and we were so scared, we hid under the covers and fell asleep. Isn't that weird? I don't know why he's a creeper. Neighborhood stalker. My brother's story. It was a few years after my sighting, probably 4 years, because my brother was driving by then, as he is 2 years younger than me. He and a friend were going down Highway 74 in Fairview and noticed a man in a trench coat and a hat walking down the road. They thought nothing of it until they passed him. And they hit him with the side mirror. It should have took him head on. They could not see his face or any skin. However, they thought they hit a drunk person or some crazy dude. No, this is an evil one. But turned around immediately anyways to see that what had happened and if he was okay. But there was no sign of anybody or anything. I wonder if it made a thud or a squishing sound. Caught in the tire. That would have been cool. I would have been worthy of a serious investigation. What if there's some Hatman DNA on that mirror? Ooh, that's a thought. That's a thought. I mean, like if you hit a Bigfoot, you could, get a little scraping. Maybe it would be just fibers, huh? I don't know. Okay. My friend's story. Probably around the same time as my brother's story, maybe a year after. Out in the middle of nowhere in Fairview. Out at the end of a back road that leads into the countryside near Hickory Nut Gape, Girton, North Carolina. It was snowing. And my friend was driving alone on his way home. On the road, as he was about to pull into his driveway, he saw a man in a trench coat and hat walking down the road. That man can't afford a car, apparently. It is not normal for people to be walking out in the middle of the night on this road unless they are in some kind of trouble or up to no good, especially in the snow. So he was genuinely shaken up as he parked at the bottom of this half-mile long driveway because it was covered in ice. He noticed that same man in the bushes behind his car, watching him. He called his mom and didn't want to get out of the car. That was wise. But got out and ran up the driveway to the safety of his house. Luckily, no one was injured. I would have been injured sliding on the ice. Only that plane is low. It's flying over here in Chicago. Luckily, no one was injured, only emotionally scarred, to say the least. I have been asking my friends who grew up in the area if they have seen anything, but no one has. There's always weird things happening out in the countryside out there, so who knows? Maybe this will just add to the stories. Also, I saw your description on your website, HeidiHollis.com, on shadow streaks. I remember a particular encounter with a shadow streak as I was driving down the road, also in the same area, when I literally saw a shadow streak go across the street in front of me. You know, in Chicago, we call those rats. They're pretty quick, and they do dodge out in front of your car. It's really gross. Big as raccoons. I thought it could have been a mouse, but it was moving so fast, there was no way it could have been a mouse. Oh, you guys have mice. So this was also a few days after I had an experience I cannot forget or explain. Myself, brother, and my good friend were taking the long way home to drop my friend off. We turned a corner and all heard this loud screeching, like a woman screaming or a cougar. Are we talking about old lady cougars? Or are we talking about... Oh, never mind. That's just bad of me. That was bad. Okay, all right. Or a cougar, but it was so loud it sounded like it was right beside our heads. Really? We all screamed bloody murder at the same time we heard this. It was so loud and so scary sounding. I could just get the chills knowing what you're speaking of. As we heard this, the car moved like we hit something. The Hat Man hit your car back in retribution there. And thought we had hit a dog or something, except I saw something. My eyes do not know if it is from this world or not. All I can say is it seemed like a cat creature, black and red in color, a weird color, and not defined edges like a real animal. Not like a real cat. I only saw this for a brief second as I turned my headlight and turned right as we felt the bump of the car. I swore to God this creature was going to jump in the car. Ugh. As I quickly turned my head back to the road because I was driving, a huge rock hit the windshield right as a truck was speeding around the corner, almost hitting us. I thought for sure my windshield was a goner, but there was not a scratch, crack, speck, or any damage. And I saw this rock hit the windshield, and we all felt the car shake as if we had hit a dog or another animal. There was zero damage to my car, and we drove back to see if there was something in the road because we for sure thought we hit something. There was nothing. I have not driven on that road since that day. This is about 4 years ago. Thanks for reading this. And if you know of anyone seeing this weird cat creature demon thing or a man in black, I would love to hear stories. Thanks so much. It is good to get these stories out. Please contact me if you have any questions. Best, Jen. Oh, Jen. Hatman is running amok around the world. So you're saying you want to hear stories? It's a book. It's a book. I have like almost 50 Hatman stories in that book. And again, I have like thousands of stories of him and his rotten, good-for-nothing, low-down, dirty deeds. He's horrible. He's a horrible thing to have to deal with. And I try to encourage people to share their stories. So I appreciate that, you understand what I'm saying. It's like it's good that people vent about what it is that they're experiencing. Because how are we going to learn? How are we going to learn? We have to. We have to start reaching out. And, you make the paranormal normal when you start doing that. So let's all start talking a little bit more. Like Jen here, who outed everybody's story that she knows. I love it. You go, girlfriend. All right, that's cool. Um, Now this cat demon creature, I don't know. Jen, if you take a look at my YouTube page here, I just put up a video of shadow cats, and I dealt with shadow cats as well. Um, they could shapeshift into anything that they want. Shadow people can. So a big old nasty juicy demon cat. I believe it's a possibility. But you know what? There's also these stories out there in regard to mystery cats, big black cats like panthers roaming around. There was several in different parts of the world, the UK, over here in the United States. Very, very, very different stories, and it really keeps a puzzle in people's heads as to what the heck is going on because it's so bizarre. I could more easily accept it being a shadow cat, but you felt a thud. Now, shadow people can put pressure on you to make you feel like, yeah, they're real and solid, but they can whisper right through something. Hold it, this shadow demon cat did that too, didn't he? He did do that to you. You felt a thud. Everybody felt the thud. You know, Sometimes I wonder, people write me about these stories. If in that moment, like a rock hit your windshield, you guys thought you felt you hit something, and like almost like you went into this other corner of a dimension of the Twilight Zone, where everything just kind of was real in the moment and hit you, and you got to experience and witness things that seemed to be all connected, but you couldn't quite make out what was going on because it was so out of your element of what you experience normally. I really wouldn't be surprised, if that shadow demon cat creature was part of that in the car. I mean, did you see Jeepers Creepers? He drove a car. It was horrible. Looked like the Hat Man with wings, though. What a nasty looking character, that Jeepers Creeper guy. But yeah, so it makes you wonder, really makes you wonder. It's like it was connected, it was. And I encourage you to trust your gut instinct. So I really, applaud you for that. Like, you don't know what your eyes saw for a split second, but you know it was real. And you kept with it. Amen. Amen to you for that, because a lot of people go, oh, these eyes are just playing tricks on me. I just don't get it. I don't understand how people think their eyes are playing tricks on them, but they'll trust them on the road and taking their kids in their packed minivan. But those tricky eyes, those tricky eyes. So what it is that you exactly experience with this very solid cat demon creature, it's a conundrum. It's a mystery of sorts, because it's not something very common. But if you look up big cat mysteries or something like that, they call them online, I'm sure you could find a whole slew of incidences of people that have even videotaped, and the brave souls that they are, and hoping they wouldn't get eaten, seeing things like that, and not quite understanding. I mean, it kind of fits in with, the whole cryptozoology aspect of things, but it seemed to be able to go through things too. So that's why I'm wondering if it was like a pocket interdimensional thing that you somehow wiggled into, and it seemed solid, seemed real, but it was in a whole other dimension. How do we define other dimensions? I don't know. It's another dimension. I've never been there. So, but it makes you wonder, how'd you slip in there? Was it a saber-toothed tiger from way back in the prehistoric days, and darn thing just whisked on by? I don't know. But some people seem to believe that all times go on at the same time, and sometimes you could just shimmy over into these other realities, and then you shimmy on back. I don't know. I don't always get it either. But no, I appreciate that you sharing your stories, and I welcome you and others to go to paranormalpledge.com and join my paranormal discussion group for people who will raise their right hand and take the oath and share their stories, or everybody they know stories like you did, and put a word out there. Make a pledge that you're going to share your story to at least one other person or the world, like Jen just did here, for everybody she knows. So it's something that needs to be done. I think if even one of these stories got shared, and it was truly taken to heart, it could change the world. It could change people's lives. But no, no, no. We sit there and we look down our snout at stuff. And that's not real. But it just could happen. So, I mean, a lot of people just don't let things into their reality, and it's a crying shame. So, here's to people like Jen. My bottle of water. Tipping off to you. It's thirsty. So, there you have it. I hope that was helpful to you, Jen. And again, I welcome everybody. Write me, dustoutlander@gmail.com. Listen to my shows Fridays, 8 p.m. Central on InceptionRadioNetwork.com. Join me in the chat room. Just click the tab that says chat, and I'll be in the chat room. You can send your questions there. Or you can call the show. How about that? So much stuff going on. I love this. All right. You guys have an awesome evening or day or morning.